Is university a waste of time? Our new subject. I want your calls. One graduate this week said she finally got a job after more than 600 applications, and that is becoming a rather familiar story, with young people who've put themselves tens of thousands of pounds of debt into debt to study, struggling to get a job after university. Graduate job postings in the 12 months to June are down 33% compared to a year earlier, according to Indeed. And that's as the number of people graduating has jumped. So, is university a waste of time and money? Or is there more to be gained than just entry to a cutthroat jobs market? Ava, I mean, are we seeing university as just access to a job now? Is that part of the problem, that there is more to offer than that?
Yeah, there definitely is. But I mean, honey, what 600 jobs did you apply to? I mean, surely that can't be right, applying for 600 graduate jobs. But, you know, the market is ugly. We've had a situation now for 15 years of stagnating wages. And I think for the first time in the next couple of years, we're actually going to see people without a university degree earning the same amount as a graduate, which will be for the first time in history. I don't think this is the fault of universities. I think that, you know, you get a real holistic approach to education. When you go to university, you learn to do critical thinking, which is not only important for getting a job, but it's also important for how you operate in day-to-day lives. It means that young people are exposed to cultures and classes that perhaps they weren't when they went to school. From people, you know, people from all around the world, people from all around the United Kingdom. I think that it just makes you a better person the more you're exposed to. You're exposed to.
Wilfred, does university makes you a better person?
Wilfred,
makes you more well-rounded.
I didn't go to university.
Nor did I.
I did go to university, but I didn't go to get a job. I went there because I wanted to learn
Oh, you
things.
did go to university?
And I went there to find things out that I didn't know
Okay,
already.
did you go to
meet
university?
Brilliant people.
Did, yeah.
Yeah, you see, both of you
But I was the
university
first person in my whole extended family to go to university. It does make a difference,
No, but
actually.
but what was the reasons for going? So the reason why you went to university, because we were told education, that's what we should all do, okay? So a lot of people think you go to university, you get a degree, and that somehow that is going to guarantee you some type of job. That used to be the case. Is that being a university student gave you some sort of advantage. The world has changed dramatically. And I think that lady is correct. I interview a lot of people. There's a lot of people looking for work out there. I know a lot of people who they had first-class degrees and they can't get a job. So it's pretty serious. So what I would say to people is this, and when I'm interviewing people, they come with all this stuff, I've been to university and I've got such a... Doesn't really matter. If you want to get ahead in the future, the key thing is to demonstrate you have the right mindset.
Okay, and that's what we're going to find out from everybody out there. You've heard what the panel has to say. I want your view now. Is university a waste of time? 0207 862 2222. That's Ava and Wilfred are here with me, and we're taking your calls. They're coming in thick and fast on whether going to university is a waste of time now. Waste of time and money in an increasingly difficult jobs market. 0207 862 2222 is the number. John's in North Yorkshire. John, did you go? Was it worth it? Would you go now?
I don't know if I'd go now, but it's worth it. I don't want to be tunnel vision. There's advantages for, advantages against as well. Research has shown that about 75% of university students in this country get a relevant degree, get a relevant job after graduating. It helps you develop and specialise into a specific career to what you go to. But the other 25% don't get a job that's relevant. And there are people serving beef burgers, I won't say which chain, that have got a degree, right? But I hope that's only temporary. It's not just about education, not just about getting a job. I don't like when the young journalist, I'm terrible with names.
Ava
said to make you a better person. I don't like the word a better person. I think we should be looking for a better word than that. Maybe a little polished if you go into the green universities.
John, there's two ways to hear what Ava said. The first one means better than everybody else, yeah, or better than those who haven't been to university. The other way to say is better than I would have been. So in terms of personal growth, I mean, that's a positive thing, isn't it?
not a better person. That's very, very elitist. So I'm sorry to criticise.
I wasn't being elitist. I was talking about being a more well-rounded person. I wasn't suggesting that there's two tiers of people. People who.
Yeah, I like that word. I like that phrase. I like the phrase well-rounded. But then there's other ways of being educated as well. You could go to Open University. I've learned a lot more in life, like a lot of people, after university than at university. And I think more concentration should be made about mature students. When you leave home at 18, you're too young to know what you want to do. A lot of people are homesick. A lot of people are getting a partner for the first time in their life. A lot of time is wasted on that. So there's lots and lots of things that can be looked at other than whether it's going to make you a more sophisticated or more well-rounded person.
I think
what does put people off? What I'd like to say, if I get the chance on this, I'm not going off the subject. The way it's phrased, you get a student loan. It's not a loan. If you have, I think is it 30,000 or more now? If you have a well-paid job, you pay 7% extra tax. When I left uni, it was 33% basic tax. Now it's only 20%. So the net return on your salary is much higher now than when we went to university and got grants. So that's putting a lot of people off. The fact it's a loan, there's about 25% of people who would have gone to university that won't go because of that reason.
I mean, the funding is definitely making a difference, and I wonder if that's one of the drivers of seeing it as elitist. One of the things John says, which is really interesting, Wilfred, is that it feels like there is a place where you can be challenged, where you can be offered the chance to think in the round about life and about a subject specifically that you won't necessarily get in the workplace. I
don't think so. I don't think people go to university to necessarily go to challenge. I think it's to think in a particular way. I don't have a problem for people going to university as some sort of rite of passage. I think it's a good thing because you mix with different people, you start to learn about yourself. All that is fine. I think the issue comes is when you think that by going to university, it's then going to enable you to get a job. It doesn't. It's a totally different type of mindset. And that's what I would like students to really understand. Because when I'm interviewing people, I don't really care what qualifications that they have. I want to understand, do they have the type of mindset that's going to be adaptable, flexible, want to sort of learn. And I'm sorry, a lot of the people that I find that have been to university do not have that.
No, but you can also tell, I always found, if I've been hiring anyone, if someone's gone to university and they've also worked part-time at a job, they've put themselves through university, they've also been doing work experience, they've also freelanced perhaps while they've been there.
For me.
To me, that's the mindset of someone who is, you want to hire that person because they've grafted.
That is the right sort of person, but there's not many of those around.
I mean, if people work out, if you're bright enough to work out what 50 or 60 grand worth of debt looks like and you're still willing to take that risk, that's commitment. You've actually made a commitment very early on in life to say, I believe in this subject, I'm going to pursue it. I want to take some more calls. Thank you, John. Thanks for calling in. Paul's in Merseyside. Is university a waste of time, Paul?
Well, I've got to say, it didn't really do me much good. I didn't get a graduate job. I mean, contrary to something Ava said a few days ago, members of my generation, the baby boomers, who got degrees, didn't all get graduate jobs by any manner of means. And in fact, I would say it's actually done me more good doing night school classes in plumbing and plastering as useful skills than it did for me to go to university and get a non-specialist degree.
OK, Paul, were you in the era of student grants? Was it paid for? Or did you have to take loans out?
No, it was the time of student grants. I graduated in 1982. I think the loans came in later than that, didn't they?
So why were you convinced to do that if clearly the thing that you love is practical as much as anything else, plumbing and plastering, that sort of thing?
Well, because at the age of 18, I was a callow youth. I didn't have any sort of notion of I'm going to stand up and say, no, this is what I want to do. Well, even if I did have any clear idea of what to do, which I didn't at the time, it was really just expected of me. I kind of drifted into it.
Is that not valuable, though, to buy yourself that space to work out who you really are? And in those 3 years, you go, actually, do you know what? It was never this all along. And then you worked it out after that?
Oh, that sounds a bit deep. No, I don't really think I worked anything out over those 3 years. I think, as I say, I just went there because it was expected. I just sort of went through it, and then I just had to, go for what I could get.
Well, listen, thanks for calling in, Paul.